In a room full of glitter, yarn and glue, there's a wild little whirlwind tearing right through. She's got half-knit scarves and decomposed dreams, a hot glue gun and impossible schemes.
Fabrics flying, buttons ring from the sky. She says I'll finish it later, but we both know that's a lie. She's not here for your order, your schedule, your flow. She's a snarky little sprite that we all call Mo. I glow, leaving chaos wherever she goes. She's the queen of to be finished, but her magic's never diminished, 'cause Mo's gonna craft till the moon's hanging low. Yeah, sassy and snarky and slightly.
Hey, you guys, it's Mo. I will be moving to full screen so you can just see, but I did want to let you guys know, yes, I know it's upside down, but the new craft camera is in. It's got a 9 times zoom and a remote with it, so I won't have to be fiddling with the aperture. Look, I'm sounding all professional-ish. Welcome, welcome, craftians, both inside and outside craftians. I realize that I have been focusing more on the inside craftians, but there are outside craftians. This is definitely one kit I wanted to pay attention to because it is from the different website. Thus far, I have been impressed with, the ink, the thread. It seems to be of similar quality with the kits being about 50% less. So I was worried that I would be upset with the quality. Now, I did make an executive decision or an ADHD decision. I have found with the last several projects that the big white spaces on the outside have been just beyond tedious and boring. And I have found myself questioning whether I even want to do the border, since when you rinse out the dye that shows the colors, it's basically white. Um, so I did make that, but let's get into this video. A lot of you have been asking for it. And with the new setup, basically, I said all of that about the camera coming in, that with the new setup, it won't be upside down. So your perspective, it will be right side up. But I wanted to give you kind of a look at what the colors look like, how it looks as you fill in things. So let's get into this, my lovely craftians. And now I do want to take this moment to share with you the stand that I am using currently on my bed. Now it does go with a scrolling frame, and I do realize, let me move me a little bit, that this is pricey. It is an investment. I did spend $88 on it, but it is wide enough to carry a scrolling frame, and I did find that I really enjoy the scrolling frames. Uh, and so this is the perfect height for me to sit more straight up and down. With my other uh, stands, they were lower, so I was always somewhat hunching. So I found that to be good. It's not terribly difficult to put together. It is persnickety to put together, but all in all, I have been impressed with this particular stand. Again, it is an investment, and I particularly have to look for things that won't rest on my legs. There are lap stands that are much less pricey. There are table stands that are much less pricey. I just have the unique issue that my leg and the nerve issues won't allow me to have something resting on my leg. So there are a multitude of different stands, and always look at Facebook Marketplace or things like that. You will find that not everyone remains a craftian or the same type of craftian. So I have had good luck with the more expensive stands, sometimes showing up on Facebook Marketplace. And I do try to be mindful that this is pricey. But I did wanna take a moment to say that this is the particular stand. I did purchase it on Amazon, but to kind of give you an idea of what in particular I'm working on. And I will say that it's very well made, it's sturdy, and it doesn't seem to wiggle around much, and I find that I do like the scrolling frames versus, uh wooden for now, but it is a personal preference, so we will get back to the crafting. I just wanted to give you guys that information because I do know some of you are new to getting into this craft, or I can just share the wisdom and what I've found works for me. Again, um, cra Facebook Marketplace is a good place to also look. There are relatives always giving away, crafting supplies, and things like that if they don't have use for them. But let's get back into crafting. Okay. No, that was the wrong one. Oh, for the love of Cheetos. Oh, no. Well, I am a professional. All right, let's get back into this. Now, I typically do like just the filling of colors, uh, and getting things done. I did get almost all the way up to the bodysuit this weekend. I didn't film all of it, mainly because I knew that we were going to be moving the camera, and I didn't want to have something go wrong with it. If I was honest, I was a bit worried that there would be something quite wrong with it, which is not so great. But that was the worry, and then, um, just if it would even film, if you guys would be okay with it being upside down, which I was worried about. Now, as I've said before, not all of the kids are Sailor Moon. Now, I encourage you to have a pair of scissors. Uh, You lose a lot less thread if you're going from spot to spot and you're tying off and clipping close to, one spot. I am attempting to get through this entire kit without needing to buy anything between my thread stash and being smarter about, not wasting thread going across the canvas, to get like random squares. Now, I find this to be very, very comforting. I tend to rest my hand on the frame this has been one of the most comfortable frames that I've had. Now, I do cross stitch in bed or on my chair. So I do have one of those like body pillow, back pillow things on it, or behind me when I'm cross stitching or diamond painting just to give the proper support. Not only as someone who kind of crafts to get over chronic pain, but as someone who doesn't want your back to hurt when you're crafting. Do be mindful that you're, sitting up straight and taking care of your back. I'm not trying to be your mom or grandma, but it it can really be bothersome if you really like to craft and then it's hurting you because you're all squunched over. Now, in this particular kit, it does call for 3 strands, to be used. Now, some kits, depending on the count, and I am not, versed enough in in like the actual theology of craftology of embroidery. As you can see, there is a reason that I tell you guys that I cut out the legend, simply because the legend, if you're on a scroll frame, isn't visible to you until you're at the top. Now, I could have started at the top, but I just love having that legend cut in a plastic bag with all of my other supplies. So when I pull it out, I can have it open next to me and it makes changing threads and figuring out which color I need for which symbol really, really easy. And I also double check the numbers sometimes because I noticed in this particular kit, especially around the kind of frame and the hair, that there are a lot of very similar shades, that are so subtle in their differences that I really have to be mindful. Now, not all kits are like this, but it's another reason having that legend there is so helpful because it has not only, the kit number, um, the way I label it, but it also has, the DMC or the thread number. So if I ever get worried, I can look at, what I wrote down on my, thread organizer and then what I have on the legend and make sure those are correct. There was a bit of a scare in the blue of the skirt because there were 2 colors that were so similar, they were only 1 number apart, and, one was obviously an accent color and the other one was a more filler color, so if I had messed those up, I definitely would have run out of thread, for the filler color. Now, I find cross stitch to be incredibly relaxing. It does kind of have the same principles of diamond painting, but it is more tedious. It doesn't have a multiple stitch kind of function. But I love just the kind of magic of watching the real colors fill in. Now, I am the type of craftian that I do like to go row by row. So you'll notice me that even though I am skipping the white, I tend to go in row order. Now, I do carry if I, run out of a color in the row that I'm currently working on and there's that color in the row ahead, I will, of course, start filling in upper rows, but I tend to go row by row. Now, some people, I know I've done kits in the past where I've gone through and done a single color at a time. I can do that. I have found that gives me anxiety, just to have things unfinished, so I am much more of a row by rower, as you can tell. Now, like I said, there are other subjects available other than Sailor Moon, although why would we pick any? I'm just kidding. But there are different subjects, and I do find that, this kit, even though I was worried because these kits were, approximately 50% less than the other kits I had looked at, and from what I typically buy, and, when I finished saving up my pennies from my latest diamond painting haul, there is a very bougie, tapestry kind of company that I do wanna try, but I do, for personal self-control and responsibility, with great crafting comes great debt. Uh, I do need to finish several kits. Uh, Now this video you're watching is condensing about 2 hours, so eh, you know, you don't always see a whole lot of progress in a day or so, but I will keep giving you guys updates about this crafting project. I am going to squunch this into 2 different videos. I wanted them to be about 15 minutes, so, you guys can have videos coming out while I am panicking as I'm getting ready for a Dollywood meetup at my other or on my other channel. So, this way, as I'm traveling and, out and about peopling, you guys can still have videos. So I will be working on that. Hopefully, the orientation of the craft kit will be right side up this next time, because I am working on the setup. But, it is Mo. We, I am a craftian. I am not a technologian. So, uh, everything crossed except our threads that, I am able to get this figured out and this set up because I think it's going to be amazeballs, but I also know I'm the one putting it together. So, all things crossed, good luck. Well, good crafting out there to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And, get your craft on. Sparkle, sarcasm, and, no slime. Bye, you guys.